So Tyler Anthony Smith, your one-person show, your Shakespeare solo show, Out Darn Spot, um,
Yes.
was so funny and ultimately so powerful. And the title evokes not only Shakespeare, but like a Disney movie from the 60s.
Good,
um,
very good. Yeah.
so I wanted to know what came first for you. Was it the desire to explore Shakespeare through this performance, or the desire to play this character and then, ooh, maybe I'll tie it into Shakespeare?
I think it started from, that's a really good question. I wrote it back in like, I think the end of like 2018. And I mean, I think most people are drawn to Lady Macbeth when you have to study Shakespeare or when you have to, when you see it, or, like, I feel like even someone who hates Shakespeare and like can't grasp it is drawn to her just because of, I don't know. I mean, there's just something in her for everyone. There's like, women
She
see
is
themselves in,
such a famous popular play. She's such a powerful character. Yes,
yeah,
even if you don't
yeah.
know Shakespeare, you know the Macbeths, Mr. and
You
Mrs.
know,
Macbeth.
you know them, you know what she's about. There's something about her that's relatable to everyone. She has this desire to be sexless, which is something that I, relate to, and not being conformed by anything. And yeah, so I guess I just, in school wanted to be her, like play her. And then I went through a, a, a breakup, which I almost had a really bad breakup, but all breakups are bad, I think. And I just like started writing this show and have always, been a sucker for things like Valley of the Dolls and that sort of, so I was like, well, what if these are like live together? I was like, well, what if Lady Macbeth is like hosting a TV show for housewives? Like she's very repressed. She wants to be out of her mold. Like so do housewives. And so it kind of just went from there. And then I kind of blacked out and then I had a show. Which um which is usually when I know I've got something good, that's what happens. I don't
I
remember
love
writing
that
it.
process.
Yeah. And it's not because of like, drugs or anything. I truly just like when I'm excited by something, like the adrenaline just gets you going and you can't stop until like you have,
Well,
yeah.
and when you know you have a good idea, because one good idea leads to the next good idea.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. So yeah, and it just flew out of me. And yeah. And so yeah, then I got to do it again recently.
Well, and fingers crossed you get to do it again soon, which I hope to talk about. Uh, and that was the fascinating a part of it, watching it for me, because I had heard that it was a great, funny show, which it absolutely is and was. And yet, as I sat there, I began to go, hang on, this is tying me to Shakespeare's text in a profound kind of a way. And then you play absolutely fair and straight with Shakespeare,
Mhm.
because your play ends in a way, I don't want to give too much away, but ends in a way that's not dissimilar to Shakespeare's play, and which made me
Yeah.
think, wow, this is the wild imagining. What if Shakespeare's Lady Macbeth realized in her imagined in her wild final moments that she was hosting a television show for
Yeah.
4 to 6,
Yeah.
700 years in the future, and it tracks for me,
It
boy. It
tracks.
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think she would love that. I think she, whether it be a TV show or just kind of anything, just to have that freedom. But then that's the funny thing, right? Because like even like the character in the show, though, she's getting to do this and she still feels like confined to like what, there's only so far she can go.
Right, right.
Like in this version, like, I mean, this is like also this is how art goes, and this is how like I feel, and this is how everyone feels. Like you think you've reached success, and then like you're still held to these standards, or like so she's, this character in this play that I wrote, it's the 60s. She's got a TV show. She's way more face fronting than a lot of women at the time, has a lot more power, quote unquote, but it's still like, you know, held to the standards of like these producers, to like her husband still, to yeah, you can never really. achieve freedom, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
The
Um,
definitions of success, the goalposts keep moving. The
yeah,
horizon, you can never hit the horizon. It's
no, no.
by definition always just out of reach. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Which,
and I love
yeah.
what you said too about being Lady Macbeth being sexless. She says unsex me
Hmm.
here, but it feels like she wants to be timeless as well. I don't want to be rooted in this single moment. I wish I had that freedom that you're talking about of being in multiple moments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which I as myself, I mean, I'm not method. I'm never so ensconced in a character that I can't remember, you know, what my to-do list is after the show's done. But um, I like I relate to her so much in that way, in the sense of like um with this piece, I feel like I got really lucky because I feel like so much of the time we write things that are um of course of the moment, and that's what art should be, but like I feel like now more than ever we're very and this is something especially like when it comes to like I mean I don't influence I don't what's the word I'm looking for? I don't call myself like a drag queen or anything, but like in terms of like plays or like we we're very focused on like of the moment, and that's like something parody falls in the trap of a lot. And like so you look at a script a few years later, not that this is parody, but like and it's kind of irrelevant or like it's a bit of a museum piece, so like you can't really pull it back out again, or it's had its moment. And the more current references you have in a show, the more you're putting an expiration date on it. And that's kind of the beautiful thing with the show is I'm like, oh, I can do this whenever I want. I can keep pulling her out. And pulling her out this time, I haven't done her. I did her in Iowa like 3 years ago. I hadn't done that show in Chicago since before COVID. It felt so different in so many ways. Like
Sure, because you're
not
different.
because I'm
The
different, yeah. And,
yeah.
and it's just like so much time has passed since I wrote it. So much time has passed since I did it here. It was a new staging. The look of it all was new. And so I kind of just really like I connected to it so differently.
Well, and the nature of the material, I can see if you were to release the rights to the script to other performers, I can see other productions of it going way too far in the parody
Yeah,
direction and
yeah,
not grounding it in the very real
yeah,
pain and discomfort that your Lady Macbeth was grounded in, which is what made it so compelling. It wasn't just hysterical; it
yeah,
was very
yeah.
funny, but also very moving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's someone asked me once if I was gonna like publish it or like try to get like, to let other people do it. And I'm not like opposed to that because, I love to make money so that I can do other shows, of course. Because that's, let's be honest, that's where all the money I make goes. But
Yep.
um yeah, that makes me nervous though. Like, and yeah, I just love her so much and I love doing that show so much. And it's yeah, to see that would be crazy. There's certain shows of mine that I'm like, yeah, I would love to watch other people do this. And I think it's mostly my shows that I've written that are not solo shows, like shows that are written for a cast. And I was like, I would love to see like a whole group of people interpret that differently. But she's so, I'm so intertwined and I've done it so much now that I like, yeah, that would be scary, I think. But
You're right to be terrified
yeah,
because
yeah,
if my experience can be any sort of cautionary tale, very frequently
yeah,
reduced Shakespeare Company scripts are done without enough attention to the seriousness with which the cast must take the task.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I also feel like it's, I've been doing this kind of theater for so long now that like, um, I am just so conditioned where like it gets to a point where like, I mean, this is why they say like camp is so hard to define or like what, because it's just like I can't explain or there's no stage direction strong enough to write down. Sorry, my cat's like screaming, so if you hear him. There's no stage direction long enough or strong enough, and I also hate writing stage directions. So that like to convey like how to properly jump, like the beat shifts, the mood shifts, like it is all just so like from doing it for like almost a decade now.
Yeah.
And Yeah,
Absolutely. And you continue to, I mean, that's the beauty of a piece like this is that you continue to learn things. You've been doing, you wrote it and you created it, and yet
yeah,
you're still learning about it. Um,
yeah.
how did you first come to Shakespeare?
Oh, I mean, I think I read Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet in high school, and I grew up like farmland, Western Pennsylvania. Like no one was appreciating Shakespeare when it came time for Shakespeare, including myself. Like I was just like, what the fuck? You know, and which I kind of feel like is like an issue. I'm like, I think we need a massive overhaul how we introduce Shakespeare to the because it is important, but I'm just like it's just presented in such a like museum-y kind of way that I'm like that it could be introduced, and that's partially like why I'm like why I love doing the show because I'm just like if you hate Shakespeare, I think you will love my show because you are getting it in just like this way. It's kind of like how Andrew Lloyd Webber is having this renaissance right now, and we all
Mm.
are loving like how his shows are being done right now because his shows are kind of like what? And like, but now like seeing Nicole Scherzinger like covered in blood and a black slip, or like I was in New York a few weeks ago and I saw Cats like the way they're doing it now, and it's just like
Oh, yeah.
this is like how we need to be approaching Shakespeare, which like we think we're doing that sometimes, but like slapping a half-assed concept on like just the text as is sometimes, and you're like, but it's not even married to each other. Yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Um,
No, you're not wrong. You're 100% not wrong. I mean, I have said several times that we need to stop saying that Shakespeare is for everyone because that seems increasingly like a threat than more than a
yeah,
promise.
yeah.
You will like him. I mean, I part of the problem is that I do think when you're introduced to him on the page, first that's hard
Mhm.
because it makes no goddamn sense at all. And so seeing him in performance in an irreverent, in like your take, an irreverent yet reverent take is a fantastic gateway.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So then I think, but then I really didn't like, in college, I did some scene work and all that, and like did Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, oh, I know. I was like, I'm just not a Romeo, and everyone's always like, you can do whatever you want, and I'm like, no, but like you get out in the real world, and then you like, no one would believe me as Romeo, and like I don't believe myself as Romeo, and I don't want to play That's like that's not interesting to me. Like, um. I read Hamlet and I'm just so much more drawn to Ophelia or like a random mother or like in Romeo and Juliet, I'm like the nurse. It's just so um yeah, I would have done great in Shakespeare's actual days. I would have probably yeah,
100%.
the lead makeup all the way, putting on wigs and shit. But yeah, yeah, and then I remember getting my I think I did Lady M in a scene in Shakespeare, maybe. In college in class. I can't remember. But yeah.
Maybe there's a Richard II in your future.
Ooh, maybe. Maybe. That is funny. Um yeah, I think one day the day will come where I just like want to do something that like is completely, not what anyone's expecting from me. I always hope to surprise people, but yeah, to like just eventually do like yeah. I do love the idea of playing Iago. That really
Mm.
tantalizing to me. I feel like that would
Can
be
you articulate why that's appealing to you?
Oh, I just like I love I think every villain is gay. I yeah. Yeah, I just
That
think that
is
would
so
be
homophobic.
yeah, I know, but I can say that. But that's my privilege talking, but in case anyone couldn't tell by this point what I am, but yeah, the idea of him just being like yeah, I don't know. That sounds fun to me.
Mm.
I'm so like I have
Well,
not
exactly. I
really
mean, who is Iago jealous of? I
right.
mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's the
that's
real
not an inappropriate interpretation.
yeah. I would have to revisit Othello to speak more cohesively on that though, because I don't know if the text can back me up there at all, or if I even needed to. But the last time I saw Othello was a production in Iceland, and Othello was white, and I was like, oh yeah, we're missing
Missing just a slight
we're
important.
missing yeah, yeah. And it was in Icelandic too, so I was just like, which I don't speak. So yeah.
Well, I wish I were good enough to Google something while we're actually on this call, but I do believe there's a solo show called Iago, written by Tim Crouch, who has made us kind of a great, fantastic. I was going to call it a side hustle, but I think it's an actual hustle where
Yeah, yeah.
he's does the I Malvolio. I don't think he's done I Claudius. I think that was something else.
Sure,
But
sure. Um, yeah, that would make sense. I'm not too familiar, but the name sounds familiar.
is there? Do you see? Well, two things. Are there any more performances of Outdoor and Spot coming up? And do you see other sort of Shakespeare related shows coming in your future that you will create?
Don't know. I don't know. For certain, I do not have anything lined up for Lady M for Outdoor and Spot in the near future. Would love to do her again. I would love to take her to Edinburgh. I think, which was a pipe dream when I did the show here in Chicago right before COVID. That was like kind of like what the next step was for her. Like a year or two after that, but then of course COVID happened. So, but doing this again has made me be like, okay, maybe I can um maybe put that back on
And
the
is there and
calendar.
do you have a new is there a new Shakespeare related show percolating?
No, I do have a note on my phone that I thought of once that this was probably in the dead of night when I could not sleep, but I thought of like a show called Romeo and Juliet and Cher. Um, I love this idea of Cher being the nurse in Romeo and Juliet. And
That's
for
money
like
in the
no,
bank.
like that just it's
Take
funny to
my money.
like everyone like a production of Romeo and Juliet where they're just trying to like cope with like Cher being the nurse sounds really funny to me. Um, who knows? But that yeah, so that's all I have. But yeah, I haven't yeah, it's a tough sell because nobody I think nobody I don't know, Shakespeare's so hard to sell and I both understand that and I'm like then we just need to do better. You know what I mean? Like it can't die like it's kind of like, well, nobody stops doing South Pacific or and nobody stops doing, Sondheim. So like we got to make it exciting, which is I love that challenge. I something I love that is met with like, well, I don't really know about that. I'm like, well, watch me. I'm gonna make it work.
So good. So good. Tyler, thank you. Congrats on the show. And
Thanks, Austin. Thanks for coming.
I can't wait to see her and whatever you do next.
Thank you. Thank you.
This podcast is a production of the Reduce Shakespeare Company, reducing expectations since 1981. Go to reduceshakespeare.com for performance dates, actor bios, email newsletters, and so much less.